Hey divas, welcome to Women Unleash, where our inner strength meets unapologetic confidence. It's been 16 weeks of transformative journey where we've been learning, and been transforming our lives. This fourth month has been purpose in motion, and we've learned how to be consistent. We've learned how to build systems and structures that helps us to maintain our success. We've learned how to take those bold steps, stepping out of our comfort zone and just facing those challenges. Some of us have taken, broken those barriers by applying for those jobs, where we've been settling in the same post for 5 years. Some of us have taken steps in, putting the pen on the paper, writing those proposals, writing those books, making those drawings, going out, all out in our dreams. And it's time for us to do what? Pause, breathe, and celebrate our wins. So this week 16, our topic is what? Celebrating wins and preparing for the next level. So as we round up this 4 months, I want us to take some time to celebrate ourselves. Look back on how far we've come. Don't just rush to the next level. Don't just rush to the next achievement, but take some time to pause, to sit back and look for how far you've come and just celebrate yourself. Be grateful for where you are. Be grateful for how far you've come. I said celebration is not just a feel-good moment. It's also a spiritual principle because it grounds you. It grounds you and magnifies your progress. Because when you sit down, when you count the cost, when you count the cost, you count those hurdles you've been able to achieve. It makes your vision clearer because it encourages you that, my God, if I could achieve all this, that means I can actually get to my end goal. So I've divided this week into 3 different portions, just following our weekly worksheet. And the first one, I said the power of celebration. Most of us jump from one goal to another, one achievement to another, one success to another, one target to another. We do not take time to just pause and reflect and just celebrate where we are. When you take time to celebrate, what you tell yourself? You're telling yourself, Bookie, Bookie, you are growing. Bookie, you are succeeding. Bookie, you are moving forward. Because when we take time to pause and just celebrate how far we've come in the last 4 months, the last 6 months of your career, of the year, or 9 months of the year. Some of us have not paused since January to just see what have I achieved. All we are thinking of is my 10-point target. I've not met it. What about those ones you've met? When we pause to celebrate our little wins, our tiny wins, those achievements, it gives us opportunity to see clearer where we are going. It makes us know that, prayers are being answered. It makes you know that your little steps, your little efforts do add up to transformation. It makes you know that, your consistency do pay off. It makes you know that, your dreams can actually come through. But if you don't pause and you're just waiting till you get to the end, you won't be able to celebrate that. And all you're just going to carry along through the rest of your journey is just anger and frustration. Look at it. Some of us have applied for maybe 10 pitches this year. You've done 10 different proposals or 5 different proposals, and only one has come through. Have you even taken the time to just pause, to just say, well done? Well done for achieving that. That's a whole lot. Yes, somebody can say out of 10, you only got 1. You need to celebrate those tiny moments. Celebrate those tiny wins. Because some people, they didn't even get 1 win out of the 10 pitches they submitted and they're still going. Because when you sit down and you're grateful for where you are, for how you celebrate, how you won that pitch, you will be able to see those things that you did perfectly compared to the 9 pitches, and it makes your vision clearer for the next pitches, the next proposal, the next job opportunity. the next proposal or whatever you want to apply for. You will be able to see how you have made progress and what you need to learn from there. The foundation you'll be able to build in that. So this week, I want you to be intentional at celebrating those tiny wins that you have made in your journey. Don't wait till you become the superstar. Celebrate all those little steps, those little wins on your way. And the next one, I said intentional reflection and progress letter. So we're going to be digging deep into ourselves. We're going to write a progress letter to our future self. I said in this letter, celebrate what you have achieved over the last 4 months of joining the Women of Lead. What have you achieved? What have you learned? It might be that you are able to now say no without feeling guilty. That is a big achievement, because women, we like to say yes to everybody, and we run into burnout. We don't even have time for our own self. We don't have time for, our own self-care, because all we do is yes to everybody, ensuring that everybody is okay while we don't even think about ourselves. If what you've been able to do in this past 4 months of following us in this Women Unleashed program is learning how to say no and learning how to do your own self-care, that is a big achievement and is a good starting point, because it's a good foundation for your next level. Some of us, it might be that we've now been able to to grow in speaking more confidently. You'll be able to grow, in your business. It might be that you'll be able to break out of that shell. And actually, after so many years of trying to write a book, you have finally, come out of that comfort zone and put a pen on the paper. That is a big achievement. It's a big achievement. So I want you to write them down. Inner achievement, outer achievement, no matter what it is that you think you'll be able to do. It might be that you've been trying to do exercise for the past 10 years. You've been trying to come up with this diet plan for the past 10 years. You've been trying to do intermittent fast for the past 2 years, and it has not worked. But you know what? In the past couple of weeks, you have been committed and you have been seeing the difference in what you're doing. Write it down. Those are your little points of celebrating, and their achievements that you're making. It might not look big to somebody else, but to you, that is a big win. Because few months ago, you couldn't do that. And few months down the line, you have been able to achieve that, meaning that those your goals, your endpoint, you will be able to attain them. It's just a matter of time. And I said, you will speak into your future, remind your future self that you're capable, you're resilient, and you're evolving. You need to write those things. When you write those your wins, when you write those things that you're grateful for that you've been able to achieve while you celebrate yourself in your letter to your future self, you need to tell yourself you're capable, you're resilient, and you're evolving. Because sweethearts, we always say challenges will come, because no man made it perfectly without facing challenge. Even Jesus Christ, that knew he was going to come and die for us, he faced challenges and he had to face it. The world leaders, people that we can see them making progress and making waves in different parts of the world, they face challenges and they've been able to pass those hurdles. So this letter is going to be serving as a mirror. In the future, when those challenges come, you're going to go back to that letter and you will read back to yourself, Bookie, you made it through so and so. So you can do it. They're going to be your grounding force. They're going to be your foundation. They're going to be the ones pushing you forward, because you know that you can make it. So write a progress letter to yourself of how far you've come and how far you're evolving, and to encourage yourself not to give up in the face of adversity, because you're going to make it. You made it this far, you're going to make it. And then the last aspect, I said, preparing for what is next. We're going to be preparing for what is next. So as we celebrate, we also prepare, because celebration and vision go hand in hand. As we're celebrating our progress, we're also opening up space for us to prepare for the next level. Because the next 4 months of Women Unleashed is going to be scaling. We're going to be, scaling our impact. We're going to be expanding our influence, and we're going to be expanding our purpose and our horizon. So, we're not there yet for what we want to achieve. Yeah, we need to pause to celebrate how far we've been able to achieve. Some of us in the past, few years, we've been able to apply for a job. And perhaps this next level is that you've been called for an interview. Wow, that's a big one. Perhaps you've not even attended any interview in the last 4 years, in the last 3 years, and you've finally been called for one. That is a big one. So you have to pause to celebrate the fact that you took the bold step of applying for this job. And out of all the applications you've been doing, you've been finally called for one. And what are you going to do? You need to prepare for that interview that you're going to be going for. You need to prepare. You need to prepare for it in enthusiasm. You need to be prepared for it, and to do all you need to get all the help you need to get. So that is going to be a big level you'll be going into. It's not just now writing the CV. You've done the CV, you put your interview papers in, and that has fetched you your interview. Now you need to showcase what you've got. You need to showcase your talent. You need to tell the interviewers that you're enough, that you're who they've been looking for in that job. So as we round up this week, I want you to write 3 things down. So I said, as we prepare for the next phase of Women Unleash, walking boldly and unapologetically in the next phase of our Women Unleash journey, I want you to write down, what have you learned about yourself in this last 16 weeks? What habits or systems helped me grow the most? How can I use my wins as a foundation for what is yet to come? So those wins that you've made, those wins that you've written down, how can you use them as your foundation? We're not starting all over again. We are writing our foundation because they're defining us. They're going to be our basis of building up in our next level. It's more like, when you're building a house, this is our foundation. Now we want to start erecting the pillars. We want to start erecting the pillars. That's where we want the phase we're in before we go to the roofing. We want to erect the pillars. So that is the next phase we'll be going on to. So divas, as you go this week, be intentional. Pause and breathe. Take a time to celebrate those little wins. Celebrate the fact that you were able to go through that week, through all those challenges, and you came out, successful at the end. Don't take anything for granted. Every of your little wins, every of those bold actions you've been able to make, celebrate them. Celebrate them. Because the more gratitude you have, the more your vision becomes clearer, and the more you're able to shine. The world is waiting for us to shine, so we cannot cover up our light. So celebrate yourself and shine. Until I see you next time, keep unleashing your world. Love you.